Hello, welcome to History and Art Secrets for a new journey in search of knowledge. The Sentinum Archaeological Park contains the ruins of the ancient Roman city of Sentinum. A Roman municipality of the Lemania tribe, it is mentioned in ancient sources for the victory of the Romans over the Gauls, Etruscans and Samnites in 295 BC. The archaeological site is located at the gates of today's city of Sassoferrato, Ancona, and is divided into two areas connected to each other. In pre-Roman times, the territory corresponded to a contact zone between the Umbrians and Etruscans to the west, the Gauls to the north and east, and the Piscenes to the east and south. Near Sentinum, in 295 BC, the Battle of the Nations took place, which saw the victory of the Romans against the Gauls and Samnites. The city was also involved in the clash between Mark Antony and Octavian, which led to the War of Perugia, 41 BC. Since Mark Antony's veterans lived in Sentinum, the city sided with him. Octavian's troops entered the city and set it on fire, and it was rebuilt in the Augustan age. The last date we have of the city is 343 AD, which was abandoned a couple of centuries later by its inhabitants decimated by hunger, plague and the Lombards. The population moved to the hills where the castrum Sassoferratum was built around 1000. The archaeological park is divided into two areas, Civita and Santa Lucia. In the Civita area, the remains of the thermal baths are visible, as well as two paved roads, Cardo and Decumanus, and a foundry. In the Santa Lucia area, the extra-urban thermal baths are visible. The Cardo was traced from north to south, while the Decumanus from east to west. The streets of Sentinum, served by a sewer system, are paved with white limestone paving stones and bordered by sidewalks. Since the Middle Ages, the ruins of Sentinum were used for the construction of Sassoferrato. No one will be interested in the city for centuries. It will be with the opening of the Fabriano-Urbino railway line that people will start talking about Sentinum again and research will begin. The route in fact cut the city in two. Excavation campaigns were conducted in 1890 by Eduardo Brizio. There were important discoveries in the 1920s, such as the splendid mosaic with the sea monsters, and the mosaic with the abduction of Europa, preserved in the Archaeological Museum of Sassoferrato. The excavation campaigns resumed in 1954 until 1960, conducted by Laura Fabbrini, and the research touched the domus of the insula of the well from which comes the mosaic depicting the god Ion, today preserved in the Glyptothek of Munich and a defensive building near the walls. A subsequent survey was conducted in 1974 and the last research program was carried out in 2002 to 2007 and involved two areas, bringing to light some public buildings and allowing a new plan of the city to be drawn up. The Archaeological Museum of Sassoferrato is set up in the Palazzo dei Priori, a 14th-century building. Designed in 1926, it was completed in 1932 thanks to the efforts of Guido Vitaletti, who brought together the finds from Sentinum in the structure and donated his private collection. On the ground floor there is a model of the Battle of the Nations, which took place in 295 BC at the end of the Third Samnite War. The collections are located in the rooms on the first floor and are characterized by the presence of mosaic floors. In the sculpture room there are heads and backs of marble statues and large epigraphs. In the next room there is the mosaic, The Rape of Europa, as well as a section dedicated to the funerary sphere. A display case contains the finds that document the existence of a bronze workshop in Sentinum. In the Ion Room, the floor is a reproduction of the mosaic found in a domus of the city in the 19th century and now preserved in the Glyptothek in Munich. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share it on your social media and subscribe to our channel. Thank you. Hello.